Hallo, welkom bij de On The Range podcast. Met Hogg Tactical en Kelley Defense. Hier zijn je gastheren, Rick Hogg en Mark Kelley.
On the Range podcast. On the Range.
That's more than likely what they're going to have with them. So, in my mind, all the crime going on, all the civil unrest, everything else. And here's the thing: I feel, I'm not going to lie, for those of you in oppressed states, in oppressed cities, I feel for you, man. I honestly do. I don't know that I could personally do it. You know, I don't know that I could live somewhere where I couldn't carry my firearm, that God forbid, you know, these Moes try to envelop you. And like this new tactic is having these basically punk teenage kids, you know, just have a herd of them circle. Sorry, dude, you know, and people are getting seriously hurt out there for what, you know, to rip some people off. Then you got cats getting, you know, now the big thing is the stabbings, right? Coming up, just stabbing you a couple times, leaving you laying out in the street to bleed to death. It's like, no way. So
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing, is just, we're not a safe country, as much as I hate to say. You know, we launch illegals in here by the millions. We don't care. Or I shouldn't say we don't care. People care, but the problem is the administration doesn't care.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. My
so
take on it is the simple. That's a great point about the a lot of the constitutional carry, even Ohio, where you were able to go out and get a CCW permit. Now you don't have to have them. So more people are carrying, going to training. Mine was the crime. That's what I thought it was. The social media that is, they're blasting this out. And here's another thing too. I see a lot more coverage and independent social media journalists, if you want to call them. I see a lot more of them being able to push their stuff out because of what Elon Musk is doing to Twitter. So you're seeing a lot more of what's actually going on out there, and you're actually hearing different takes on what's going on out there. And you know, there's a lot more information that is not being, I don't even know if to say suppressed. It's just not being covered. And I think, you know, the media, and I know we're kind of getting a little bit of sidebar, but I know that the media, their power used to be their influence, right? Their influence, you know, the pen is mightier than the sword, that kind of stuff. Well,
it still is.
it still is, you know, but people are a little hesitant to believe them. So what they do now is they just don't cover the story.
No.
So that's where their power it really is now. They can have something that is a major, major story. And the majority of the folks are going to get their information from mainstream media. Let's face it, whether it's Fox or whoever.
The laptop.
Yep.
I'll say nothing else. The laptop.
Yeah, exactly.
Suppress
and they just
it.
choose not to cover it. They just choose not to.
Or they're puppets of the government, right? I mean, that's the other. I mean, let's just look at it. Before, it used to be they were part keeping the government in check. So when Watergate went down, you know, shortly thereafter, Nixon stepped out. Oh, have we forgotten all that? So now they're just a puppet or a tool. Because let's be an honest broker, when the whole China virus went on, the media is like, you're going to die. You're dying. Get your poison or you die. You know? And then I got the dumb state of North Carolina. Way to go, Coop. Wasting my tax dollars to send me a thing to go get boosted. I'm not even in the NC health system. You're just launching that stuff to whoever's, you know, whether it's voters or whether it's people that pay taxes. I don't know. It's like, look at your records. Don't want your freaking poison. Don't work. Huh. But you're still wasting the money. And it's mind-boggling when you look at all this stuff. And now, and we're deep down a rabbit hole, but I think it's important to get it. This whole AI, you know, what's going to be real? What's going to be fake? How are we going to discern which one's which? Pretty soon, it's going to be slippery slopes, man. And is what I'm actually hearing, is that real? Is that fake? Is somebody going to slide in and try to use the power of On the Range podcasts and push out propaganda? Could. I don't know.
And what I believe
But
what you're talking about, just to let the listeners know, Rick, is a lot of these things that are being pushed out there, even real full blown stories are going to be written by AI. And and like Rick said, is it going to be real? Is it going to be generated, or is it going to be, it's going to be generated by what's going on out there, of course. And they're going to put these together and send them out there. They collect all this information from other independent sources and they push it out there. Or are they going to create something that, like you said, is fictitious, or it absolutely is a propaganda? It's got their spin on it. I think
yeah,
they do it already. Now
yeah,
it's just going to be a heck of a lot more efficient. It's going to be automatic.
yeah. Well, all they've got to do is set the parameters, right?
Yep.
Biden's the best thing ever. Trump's terrible. The laptop don't exist. China's our friend. Pushing all this crap narrative.
On the range.
So a lot of these woke corporations, Bud Light took a huge hit, like 30%, 8% of their total market cap. And I always started thinking, what is going on with these marketing professionals, the marketing industry, the marketing niche? What is going on with them? I have no idea. This lady, Alyssa Heiderschein, I can't remember now. I'm going to butcher it. But anyway, the vice president and the president of the marketing for Bud Light were let go. Oh, I'm sorry, leave of absence. They're let go. You lose $6.5, $7 billion of a company. Yeah, you're going to get let go. But the question really comes is, where are these marketing people getting their ideas? Is it totally from their woke minds, their woke agendas? Is it totally that? Or are they just so far removed that what they're pitching, they believe is what everybody wants to hear? I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever why the king of beers, Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch, why in the world would anybody that had any sense whatsoever let that spot roll out? You can try to draw we've talked about this on Vantage Point and on OTR with Rick and I. You can try to draw in all the new customers that you want. You cannot ignore your base. You cannot ignore your base. Now, is this a positive sign that folks are just tired of it? I don't know. Because you see a little bit of those sparks of light coming from people just saying, no, I'm not down with this. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not supporting Bud Light anymore. I'll just go to another brand of beer. Starting to see some of these spots of light. This wokeness is out of control. No one is down with it. And people are going to have to start speaking up. And Tucker was calling it out all the time. Disney is suing Ron DeSantis because of wokeness. Follow me here, okay? If you look at the lawsuits, they're all saying that it's a zoning thing. It's a state, trying to hold down big business or trying to hurt local business. No, this started back when Disney, almost a half a century ago, Walt Disney found Orlando, or right outside of Orlando. Tens of thousands of acres, right? They needed the flexibility, and they're bringing in all this industry, all this tourism, all these jobs. They're bringing all this into the state. They asked the state, hey, we want special treatment on the zoning and the permitting. This is going to be fast evolving. We want this to grow quickly, and we can't be tied up with the bureaucracy if we don't get done what we want to get done in the time that we want it. We can't roll this stuff out. The state gave them special permission to pretty much run that piece of property any way they wanted. Now, any person in the world would know that if you get in bed with any kind of bureaucracy like a state government, there's going to be strings attached. So let's fast forward. The don't say you know what in Florida case. Disney decided to speak up on it. Ron DeSantis, the governor, says, okay, you're going to be treated like everybody else then. If you think that you're going to take all this additional ease, assistance, money that we're not taking from things that we should be taking from, you're being treated special. You're not going to be treated special anymore. You're going to be treated like everybody else. Flip their wig. everybody's saying that it's the machine against the business who's just trying to make a living and bringing all these jobs. No, it's not. No, it's not. They stuck their nose into politics. Now, this isn't just saying, hey, we support certain things like equal rights and for businesses and helping support small business. That makes sense, right? But you can't, in some kind of a culture war that was voted in by the representatives of people who voted them in, stay out of it. Well, they learned. And now they're suing Ron DeSantis. And here's another thing, too, that's weird. They are mad at Ron DeSantis when Ron DeSantis let them open their business during the pandemic sooner than almost everything else. They opened it up as soon as they could, almost a year before Disneyland over in California was opened. So Ron DeSantis has been good to them all the way up to the point where they start saying, hey, this is, fascism or whatever. And they pulled the strings. That's it. It's over. What do they think was going to happen?
On the Range Podcast. On the Range.